Hi there. I have received a lot of requests by my community to give a review about the trending project, which is QZ Asset Management. After announcing that it's going public and listing on NASDAQ Stock Exchange, a lot of people want to know the legitimacy of this action. I have been in the financial space for more than 10 years, and I have vast experience in how and what are the requirements for a company to operate as as in finance or as an asset management business. QZ Asset Management recently announced that they have applied with the Nasdaq Stock Exchange to have their IPO and company listed. What is an IPO and how it works? This is an initial public offering. It's when a private company becomes public by selling its shares on a stock exchange. Private companies work with investment banks to bring their shares to the public, which requires tremendous amounts of due diligence, marketing, and regulatory requirements. Right. Now, the purpose of this review is to give you a clear picture of what's going to happen to your money in 6 to 12 months from now. QZ Asset Management has no clear registration and licenses on their website as required by the international law. The only spoken about regulatory licenses from an inferior entity called AMAC, which is Asset Management Association of China. That's not enough for an asset management business and a company taking deposits from the general public. Right. Now we go on to look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ Stock Exchange. The Nasdaq stock market, or as simply Nasdaq, is the second largest stock exchange in the world for investors looking to buy and sell shares of stock. This is the most regulated stock exchange in the world from the United States of America. The Nasdaq Stock Exchange started way back in 1971. Any foreign company that is not registered in the US must apply and go through the SEC department before it gets listed on NASDAQ. They have to first fulfill the requirements by the SEC. Now, what is an SEC? This is Securities and Exchange Commission. This is an independent federal government regulatory agency responsible for protecting investors, maintaining fair and orderly functioning of the securities markets, and facilitating capital formation. This is the most dangerous financial regulatory body in the world. It has destroyed many financial system abuse, financial crimes, and money laundering tactics. Gary Gensler is the SEC chair. This gentleman, he has, together with this department, he has ruffled the cryptocurrency market and making sure it remains in shutters. He's turning the financial space into something else. He's not taking any nonsense. Of course, there is no dispute that QZ Asset Management did really file the application with SEC office on on the 23rd of Feb. They announced on their conference about their intentions. Then they filed on the 24th. This is just an application. They are not listed as yet. It's just an application. They just went to the website, uploaded the documents, paid the fee. No one has checked them yet. Anyone can do that. Anyone can do the application. I can put together some documents, get lawyers to oversee everything and pay the fee. Easy like that. Now, On the SEC website, you can check their IPO filing ticker name, which is QZ or QZAM. You can find it there, you can see it there. The whole purpose of this is to deceive people into believing that everything is overboard. The company is legit. This is the big strategy to make sure that they gain trust from the general public and recruit more members. Right. Forget about 10 years existence lies that they've been preaching. This company started picking up late last year, 22 in September. As per their timeline, they're already planning. They already started planning the IPO in November. What a rush! Why so much rush? SEC and NASDAQ requirements is that a company must provide a 2 to 3 years financial records. They provided dodgy financials just to push time. You know how it is. As we speak, the internet is buzzing all about the QZ pre-IPO shares. What are those? Pre-IPO shares are shares that are not yet publicly traded. They are unlisted stocks that's sometimes known as private equity. Pre-IPO share investments are those that can be made before a business goes public. They are not regulated by any legal entity or security bodies. In this case, QZ is taking money to their pockets. Members will be holding useless shares that have no value beyond the platform. I went on to check on Quora. Then some members talking about pre-IPO shares said there are a few risks to keep in mind when considering investing in pre-IPO shares. First and foremost, there is the risk that the company will never actually go public. All right. I went on to check again. The pre-IPO basically means investing in companies which are unlisted. This gives rise to the following risk. Like the last point also that says the company may never go public in the mentioned period. This may affect the value of the unlisted shares. QZ NASDAQ IPO. What a bold step to take. This is not a child's play. All right, let's check about NASDAQ. NASDAQ holds IPOs of small Chinese companies as it probes stock rallies. When was this? It was October 24th in 2022. The US has got one of the strongest and toughest strict financial regulations. Check most companies and fully licensed platforms that don't accept US clients. They will tell you when you are doing the registration. Are you from the US? We don't accept any US clients because US is very strict when it comes to financials, and it protects its members. Just last year, NASDAQ had problems with so many Chinese businesses who applied for IPO listings. Most of them were deemed to be doing pump and pump. NASDAQ stopped accepting those uh, businesses for a while. Now, this is US versus China. There's no chance that this company will be approved. It doesn't meet the core fundamentals requirements. As you can see, QZ Asset Management is taking a big gamble and they know it's not going to be successful. This model of business cannot be accepted by SEC and NASDAQ for that matter. Any financial company that guarantees profits to its members is disqualified and labeled as a Ponzi scheme. There is no asset management MLM company that is listed on stock exchange so far. Looking at this table, the company is saying the pre pre-IPO members will make tons of money when they get listed in August. Who will they be selling these shares to? That's the first question. This is clear manipulation of weaker minds. Now, let's look at the terms and conditions as per their application sheet or their announcement form. Number one, you need to be QZ member first to buy shares. You can't buy these shares if you are not a member. You need to become a member first, invest the money, and then you can be able to buy the shares. Number two, the first release date of the pre-IPO shares is August. They make it look like it's very certain that their application will be approved or accepted. This is a red flag on its own. Again, when we look at the percentages of returns that will be awarded or given to the members or pre-IPO participants, they are very big. These numbers are way too big for any normal company, for any company in the financial space. This is too much. This cannot really be accepted by the financial regulatory bodies. This cannot even be looked at. So they're just taking chances because they are gaining that upper hand on the third world countries, with weaker laws and regulations, where they accept such practice from these Asian and European countries. Now, this is how it's going to play out. First, QZ Asset Management knows very well they don't qualify to be listed on NASDAQ. This application and announcement is a public marketing strategy. Secondly, from now till August, leaders and participants are going to recruit and invest a lot of money, and their coffers will be full. QZ board members, the owners, will have a lot of money in their disposal. Thirdly, this is a brutal mind manipulation to make people believe the company is real and compliant. The application will not be approved. They know very well. In 3 to 6 months, the company will fly and the website will record a 404 error. Lies at this magnitude are not acceptable. They make people look like fools. This is bad. This is not really acceptable. They should have kept their business as an MLM without this marketing strategy of listing on NASDAQ and applying with the SEC. This is a big lie. This is something they know very well. It's not going to happen. But of course, the weaker minds on the ground, they won't really see what's happening, and they will just go with the um, plan that I'm going to invest in this company. I'm buying shares. I'm buying a lot of shares. I'm gonna make a lot of money, which is bad. Anyway, this is what it is. This is the way it is. Good luck.